Have you ever seen a mountain that explodes? Not in a movie, not in a dream, but right here on planet Earth, there are mountains that shoot fire, ash, and melted rock high into the sky. They are called volcanoes. But here is the big question. The question that scientists, explorers, and curious kids just like you have been asking for thousands of years. Why do volcanoes erupt? Today on Why World, we are going on a journey deep underground to find out. First, let us talk about what is inside our Earth, because the answer to why volcanoes erupt starts way, way below your feet. Imagine the Earth is like a giant hard-boiled egg. The outside, the shell, is called the crust. That is where we live, where mountains grow, and where oceans sit. Below the crust is the mantle. This is a thick layer of super hot rock, so hot that the rock actually melts. This melted rock is called magma, and right in the very center of the Earth is the core, the hottest part of all, like a giant ball of fire. Now, all that heat from the core warms up the mantle, and hot things rise up. Just like hot air in a balloon, the hot magma slowly pushes upward looking for a way out, and sometimes it finds one. Now here's something truly mind-blowing. The crust of the Earth, the ground we stand on, is not one solid piece. It is broken into giant puzzle pieces called tectonic plates. These plates are always moving, very slowly, about as fast as your fingernail grows. But they never stop. Sometimes two plates crash into each other. When that happens, one plate gets pushed down under the other, right into the hot mantle below. This melts the rock and creates even more magma. And all that magma needs somewhere to go. So it pushes and it builds until, boom, it breaks through the ground. That, my friends, is a volcanic eruption. When a volcano erupts, the magma shoots up through a long tunnel called a vent, like squeezing toothpaste through a tube. Once the magma reaches the surface, we give it a new name: lava. Lava can flow like a slow glowing river, reaching temperatures of over 1,000 degrees Celsius. That is hot enough to melt metal. Volcanoes also shoot out huge clouds of ash and gas. This ash can travel thousands of kilometers, carried by the wind across entire countries. Some eruptions are gentle. Lava slowly bubbles out like a pot of boiling porridge. Others are enormous explosions, like the volcano Krakatoa in 1883, which was heard 4,800 kilometers away. That is like hearing a sound from the other side of a continent. Different volcanoes, different personalities, but all powered by the incredible heat deep inside our Earth. Now you might be thinking, volcanoes sound very dangerous. And yes, they can be. When Krakatoa erupted, it caused giant ocean waves called tsunamis and changed the weather around the whole planet for years. But here is something surprising. Volcanoes are also creators. The lava that flows out eventually cools and breaks down into some of the most fertile soil on Earth. Farmers near volcanoes often grow the most amazing crops because volcanic soil is packed with minerals. Many beautiful islands were actually made by volcanoes, including the Hawaiian Islands, which formed as underwater volcanoes, grew taller and taller until they rose above the ocean surface. And volcanic rocks? Some of them are used to build houses, make jewelry, and even in beauty products. So volcanoes take, and they also give. So now you know, volcanoes erupt because of the incredible heat deep inside the Earth. Hot magma rises up, finds cracks between tectonic plates, and bursts through to the surface with incredible power. Dangerous? Sometimes. Beautiful? Always. Important? Absolutely. Our Earth is not just a rock floating in space, it is alive, breathing, moving, and always changing. And here is your thinking question for today. Think about it, talk about it, and maybe draw it. If you could travel inside a volcano safely, what would you want to see? I am your host, and I will see you next time on Why World. Stay curious, stay wonderful,